Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, podcaster and certified high performance coach. This could be a very important topic that you need to lean into because if you're not aware of the global change that's happened and you're still thinking or you're still acting local when you should be thinking global, the 7 hours it takes 7 hours for people to know, like, and trust you. And I'm going to dive into it to give you an insight that'll help you go through a paradigm shift and put a different focus on what you're doing because your time is critical today. The world is being flipped upside down. AI is changing everything. And when you look at the amount of time you put in activities, you have to be very aware that you're using the best time for the future because your future is bright if you make that paradigm shift. If you shift from acting local to thinking global. Let's get into it. All right. First off, leads change lives. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. And the more demand you can create, and that is being able to have so many leads, you get to choose who you do business with. I had a friend I was talking to, and he talked about, well, I don't want to get on your podcast because what if I get 30 people that want to do business with me? And I had to laugh because people think that. Well, let's just say it happens like that, which it doesn't, but let's just say it does. So you have 30 people that want to do business with you. So what are you going to do? You're going to screen them. You're going to qualify them. You're going to find the best fit for your ideal client. So you're not going to pick all of them. You're just going to pick the best. And what does that do for your business? It's kind of like what a friend of I just had her on my podcast page, and she talked about dealing with your ideal people, people you love to work with, people you love to deal with. When that happens, it's like the wind is behind your sail. And that's in business. You want to do business with people you know, like, and trust. People that, as she said, she fired people at times because they drained her and they drained her team. So if in the example of my friend, you get 30 leads when you do a podcast, pick the best ones that you can handle. What kind of capacity do you have? You've got to determine that because you always want to be aware of your lead flow. We do podcasting, and that's our first tip. Podcasting allows you to build relationships, to build your community, and to create an asset, a digital asset. And because the world is global, and I can do a podcast with somebody halfway around the world, they don't have to travel. We just do it online. And that's where, when you understand the power of what you have with podcasting, you'll do as many as me. You'll do as many as our community because there's nothing better than building those relationships with people and having what we do is 30 minutes in general to get to know, like, and trust a person and to share their story with our community. Because I want the best. I want people that want to make an impact. I want people I can trust, I like working with. And during a podcast, you can hear when they're talking, if they're the type of people that would help the thriving community that you're building. Because not everybody, you don't want to do business with everybody. You want to be able to do business with people that you know, like, and trust, that have similar values in that they want to make an impact. And that's what we do in our community. We practice 7-Eleven 4, and right now, the 7 that we're talking about, the 7, let me go to it, is Roger Dunbar. And that basically says this: I meet you. Let's say I meet you at a networking event. I meet you in the lobby and we're talking and we have a great conversation. And you've built my curiosity. What am I going to do? I'm going to search you. Used to be Google, but now it's all kinds of places. Could be YouTube, could be LinkedIn. It could be just generally search and see what comes up about the person. And when you do that, you're looking to go on a further journey with that person. When I meet somebody and they say, well, what do you do, Pete? I generate leads, I create cash flow, and I build thriving communities. Now, if they say nothing, I don't go into, well, we do virtual and live events, we do podcasting, we create courses. I don't go into all that. There's no need. That's throwing up. They have to ask. They have to raise their hand and say, tell me more about how you generate leads. We do it with podcasting, courses, books, and given our community virtual and live events so they can learn to pitch. Because if you are an entrepreneur and you haven't figured out how to pitch in a very short, concise, curious building, then you're not going to do as well as you can. So you have to be good. It can't be the first time. I self-talk so much. I sometimes just laugh because I'm always talking to myself. So when I say something to people, it's not the first time they've heard it. It's about the 100th time, 1,000th time in my mind. But they're hearing it for the first time. So when you're looking to perfect your pitch, you got to practice. The only way you get better is if you practice. Practice creates habits, create outcomes. So if you want to grow your business, first you got to know who you're serving and what are you serving that person with? What are you solving? Because if you come to that, if you're able to go through that thought process, you're clear about everything you do. And when you're clear, you are able to speak the language. You have to have stories. Stories are remembered. And so if you have sound bites within your story, there's a gentleman by the name of Dave Miller who has written numerous books and trains on storytelling. And he has a framework of really how you build your story. And it starts with those sound bites, because if you can't build curiosity, it's kind of like he says, there's, when you go into a house, you go to the front porch. And before you go into the house, you have to be able to be interested enough to go to the front porch. So if you're doing that and you built your curiosity and you got your prospect or your potential client on your porch, the next step is get them to come into your house. And that person's only going to come if they're interested. So as you create your content, and because you're looking to go on a journey, or you're going to put your client, prospect, your ideal one, on a journey, it takes 7 hours for them to get to know you, like you, and trust you. So a podcast is a way for them to get to know you. A book is a way for them to get to know you. A workshop, an assessment. things that you put out there that help move them forward. Because if I don't see anything, I don't continue the journey with you. So online, and because the world is global, you've got to be putting a lot of seeds out there because your seeds can grow. And the growing part is at 7 hours, because 7 hours is the first part of the formula of 7-11-4. Search Daniel Priestley. Let me see if I have this up here. There we go. When you want to get a good book, The Key Person of Influence will absolutely rock your world, because you won't have to worry about the algorithms and the funnels and all the things that you have to try to get right. You'll just let people get to know you. And when you write a book, it's not about you reading a book. It's about the book that you put out there, the book that you write, because that's a way for people to get to know you. The 7-hour journey, when you say 7-11-4, and we'll train more on the 4 later, but I just wanted to give you this slide here, is the podcast is a platform, a book, a magazine, a waiting list. All these are different platforms. And when the brain goes to 7-11-4, and we have tomorrow, we're going to talk more in depth about the 11. So subscribe so we can help you have a brighter future. Create massive demand, control your supply, and look at a model like Rolex. If I want to buy a Rolex today, I may be waiting like 9 to 12 months. Are they the best sound timepiece out there? No. I don't think they've innovated, at least I don't know for a fact, but it's all about when you wear that Rolex, I want it. It's how you feel when you wear a Rolex. So when you want to get one, you're going to have to wait. So when you wait for something, you want it more. It's just the way the human nature works. So they have a waiting list to get whatever you're spending, and they're not inexpensive. They're expensive because they know their market. They know how they use price tension. They leverage how you feel, and then when you want it, because if you want something, you can get it right away. It's not the same as having to wait. If I had to wait to get a plane ticket to go to LA a month, I would think of it differently, but I can buy a plane ticket whenever I want. So there's no price tension. There's no demand, although the planes are full. But the fact is, you can buy it whenever you want it. But a Rolex is not the case. So when you go back and you study the 7, think podcasting is giving an opportunity for people to get to know you. And when you keep putting those podcasts out there, you're giving people an opportunity to go on a journey with you. And then when you get to the point, we're going to talk about the 11 buying signals another day, but when you are able to let people go on a journey, the average person has like 150 people in their circle of relationships. And when you're in their circle, they know you, they like you, they trust you. But you are having to break into that circle. You don't do it with one podcast. You don't do it with one encounter, one buying signal. It takes a series, and it takes time to people. We like to say about 6 months. So if you're looking for a quick fix, silver bullet. This isn't it. This isn't this isn't you. You're going to be totally disappointed because we look long term. Once you set it up, search Daniel Priestley, search Brendan Burchard, see what's out there. And how I became a certified high performance coach, I was listening to Ed Mylett interview Brendan Burchard, and they mentioned Growth Day, a personal development community. I had seen Brendan 10, 12 years before that in San Francisco, and I was captivated by a weekend that he was delivering such incredible value. Life gets kind of messy at times and distracted, so I lost track of him until 2 years ago. That's when I heard about Growth Day and I signed up. And I went on a journey because every single day, the best coach in the world was working on me, working on my mindset, working on my personal development. I then upgraded to more quality information because I was absolutely floored by what I got. To have a person like him and his team of coaches and trainers that are in Growth Day, all multimillionaires, all accomplished speakers and trainers, to feed me every day. Starts off with the 5 to Thrive, and Brendan's the start. So he gives me a framework every single day. So I'm able to apply it to my life. I'm able to grow. It doesn't stop there. 2 thought-provoking questions that get me to think. Think. And when I think and I answer, I get a little bit better because I'm reflecting on what does that mean to me? And then there's another person who will train you on the topic that Brendan starts off with. And then you put your checklist together. Because if you don't have, we always work on 3. What are your top 3 things to do? And the first one is your most important. If I do this one thing today, it'll move the needle forward. All the other distractions are just that. All the other tasks are distractions. That's why the average person watches 3 hours of TV, scrolls between 1 and 3 hours of social media. And scrolling is consuming. It's not social media, it's media. Same thing as TV or Netflix. And I'm not trying to say you can't do any of those things, but watch where you're spending your time. Are you just consuming other people's lives? Are you creating your life? And we're born to create. When you become the creator, the potential to create, that's where aliveness kicks in. And the 4 human drivers of aliveness, connection, meaningful purpose, and personal growth are the known 4 drivers. So if you find yourself stuck in the mud of life, look at the 4 human drivers. And when you think about what makes you alive, it's creating. And if you're not aware of where you're spending your time, AI is going to know what you like, and it's going to feed you what you like. The algorithms do a pretty good job of that now. But if you're not making those intentional shifts from consumption to creating, you'll fall into a life of consumption. And when you fall into a life of consumption, your potential goes down. And you want a bright future, and that future can be bright. And it starts with being a creator that you were born to be. The magic is in you, and anything's possible. And when we talk about being a key person of influence, we talk about you shining out. Because if you're not shining your light out, how are people going to be able to come into your world? How are people going to be interested in you if you're not shining out? So when you look at the 7 hours, you're shining out, not shining inward to you. Like influencers tend to be shining. Hey, look at me. I had, I'm not interested. And you had a cup of coffee and you're doing all the things about you. I'm interested in you shining out so people can see the value you have and the path you have, the solution you have, the person that you are. And when you shine out, the people that want to shine inward to you starts. And that journey of 1,000 miles starts with your first podcast, with your first bit of information. Don't be fooled by what has happened in the past. Used to be a website, a LinkedIn profile, and you were fine. Hey, I have 2 out of the 6 or 8, listings on my name. Search my name. Just put Pete Kane and put podcast in there because there is another Pete Kane. But I've been doing quite a few podcasts over the last 3 years, building the community, building relationships, getting to know people, and helping people to go on a path. As a certified high performance coach, we have the 5 high performance habits: clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. Those are the 5. Go buy Brendan's book, The High Performance Habits, because you get those 5 down, but also you can try Brendan out. Go to petekane.me/growth day. This will enable you to try personal development for 7 days. See what happens to you when Brendan speaks to you each day. And you start your day off with the 5 to thrive, the fuel you need for your rocket for the day. And when you understand the power that you have in yourself, the power and the magic that you have, and you're able to activate that magic, then the potential and the future is bright. And that can be you. So if you're interested, go to petekane.me/connect. Be a guest on my podcast. I'd love to have you on. I'd love to feature you and your story to our community, introduce you to our community, and help you if you need to move fast. And now speed is critical because there's one-on-one coaching opportunities. But until then, we have, and let me see if I can bring it up because I did not get it. Let me see if I can hold on. Yeah, I know I can. Because I'm going to bring it up because I love helping. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you can get free access to my digital high performance coaching core program. Brendan Bouchard certified me. So you're going to get vocal points. That's establishing kind of a bench line for you, your habits, getting to know where you are. Everybody's different in their journey. But then we get into clarity. That's the first high performance habit. The second one is energy. The third one is courage. The fourth one is productivity. And the fifth one is influence. And when you get into the mastery stage, psychology, physiologies, productivity, persuasion, and purpose mastery, soon as you make it through that first 5 habits, it's going to activate a way for you to join a thriving community where we're going to group coach you with a high performance certified coach. Going to take you through the 12 weeks with 10 business-minded leaders, 5 veterans, and 5 youth. The power, the future is in our youth of America, anywhere, our power, because we are free and we're going through a transformation in America. And it's beautiful to see, but it's not easy. Chaos is all around us because people have been conditioned. Their mindset has been conditioned over 50 years, but that's a story for another day. But we want you. We want you to go on a journey with us. And if you want to go faster, you'll have an option to get one-on-one from a certified high-performance coach like myself. That way, we're helping you move faster, helping because the world is being flipped upside down. And AI is changing it so rapidly, so quick, that you want a coach, a high-performance coach, a certified high-performance coach to guide you through. Now, if you wanted Brendan, which you can, but you better be writing a check for $1 million because that's what he charges. He's been doing it for 20 years. He's earned it and then some. He only gets referrals from people that have been coached. But you have to have $1 million. Ours is less. So, same framework, thriving community. You're going to understand the key person of influence. You're going to understand a path for a brighter future, because once you understand that 7-Eleven, let me see if I can go back here. There we go. People buy from people. And when people buy from people, that the trust, people connect with people. They don't buy from companies. But when you understand the 7-Eleven 4 and you work on the 5 Ps, pitch, profile, product, presentation, and partnerships, you truly will be on your path to freedom, personal and work freedom. That's what we work on. But you have to invest in yourself. Get Growth Day. Go to peakgain.me/growth day. And then we'll give you a free course on mindset, goals, and habits. That'll help you to frame your personal development. You have to start somewhere. So if you haven't been tuned in to personal development, the future is bright for you, because once you understand the power of growth, personal growth, your future is extremely bright. So get this book, Key Person of Influence. And for my youth and people out there that want to be a part of our community, if you go to peakgain.me/youth, we want to empower our future leaders. To empower them is to put them in a group, a thriving, or give them a framework of high performance habits. Understand mastery. Be challenged. Be pushed. Because we want it, but we haven't got the right message in America in a long time. Brendan's changing that. And Growth Day can change your mindset if you start investing in yourself. Because the first stage of a freedom, we have 7 stages. There is videos I've done on it. The first one is invest in yourself. You are the best investment you can ever make in your life. Activate yourself. Activate your personal growth. And learn 7-Eleven 4. Buy a book. Invest in this philosophy, because if you shine out, the world will shine in. You'll get to pick the people you want to do business with. And then the wind is behind your sails and you're off. Because AI is going to change it. And you want to be on the train, not run over by the train. So, as we've said before, getting off the busy bus is not easy. But getting on a purpose plane and having purpose in your life, meaningful purpose. The 4 human drivers. Again, aliveness, connection, meaningful purpose. And the last one is personal growth. If we can be of assistance to you, go to the peakgain.me/connect. Connect with us. Share this with people you think can be served by being a key person of influence and understanding the 7-Eleven 4 framework. Be coached by the best. by the best who coach high performance coaching, certified high performance coaching. And when you look at this framework here, vocal points, clarity, got to be clear about where you're going. You have to have that energy. I mean, there's something about how you fuel yourself, how you move. You got to have that energy if you want to be a high performance person, if you want to have those habits. And then when you create more courage in your life, you get more confident. And you don't get confident by not doing your best, being the master, being a high achiever, learning the high performance habits, and working on your next step, which is productivity. We all have 24 hours. How we use it will determine whether your future is as bright as possible. And the magic is in you, and anything's possible. But you have to learn that productivity skill. And the mastery productivity skill in session 9 goes into further of how you can become a master in productivity. And influence is the last of the 5 high performance habits. I wish the best for you. I wish the very best. And if you want to come on and be a guest on our podcast to experience, so I can introduce you to my community, so I can learn your story, see how I can serve you, go to pkane.me and be a guest and connect with us at pkane.me/connect. Be bold, make a difference. Be bold, make an impact, and have fun. Be bold,